The observation deck of the interstellar research station Aurora's Reach was bathed in the soft glow of distant nebulae. I had been sent to document alien diplomacy and the customs of the Zytherian Empire, one of the galaxy's most enigmatic civilizations. Yet nothing in my training had prepared me for the figure that awaited me in the throne chamber, the alien queen herself. She was imposing, towering, with iridescent skin that shimmered in shades of violet and silver, adorned with natural spines that framed her face like a crown of crystal. Her eyes glowed with an intensity that could freeze the bravest warrior in place. Every movement exuded power, every gesture demanded attention. And yet, when she finally spoke, her voice trembled ever so slightly. "My face, it is terrifying," she said, her tone almost a whisper. There was no malice, only vulnerability. I blinked. This was the ruler of an entire civilization, one whose name alone commanded fleets and armies, admitting insecurity. Something inside me stirred a mixture of awe, disbelief, and the instinct to reassure. "No," I said carefully, stepping closer. "You're not terrifying. You're the most beautiful being I have ever seen in the galaxy." Her bioluminescent patterns flickered, a sign of emotional processing in her species. "Most beautiful? Do you truly mean that?" "I do," I replied. "Your power, your grace, even the way your presence commands attention, there's nothing terrifying about it. It's breathtaking." For a long moment, she studied me. I could feel her analyzing every nuance of my expression, every inflection of my voice. And then, slowly, she lowered her head in a gesture that might have been a bow, or perhaps a sign of relief. "I have ruled for centuries," she murmured. "And yet, I have never been seen this way." I nodded. "That's because most people see the armor, the crown, the power. They don't see what's beneath. But I do." She tilted her head, curious, skeptical. "Beneath the surface lies what?" "The essence of who you are," I said. "Strength, intelligence, wisdom, and beauty. True beauty, not the superficial kind. The kind that radiates from everything you are." Her patterns brightened, a soft cascade of light across her skin, reflecting the nebula beyond. "You flatter me, human." "No," I insisted. "I only speak the truth. Sometimes, it's easy to forget that beauty isn't just appearances, it's presence, it's actions, it's the courage to rule with honor and the vulnerability to admit when you feel fear." She paused, and I could sense her contemplating my words. Then, unexpectedly, she gestured for me to follow her deeper into the chamber. We passed through halls lined with crystalline spires and corridors that hummed with energy. The very architecture seemed alive, reacting to her presence. And yet, despite the grandeur surrounding her, there was a softness in her movements when she was with me, a subtle shift, almost imperceptible, but undeniable. We arrived at a panoramic balcony overlooking the planet Zytheria below. Its surface was a swirling mosaic of color, seas of turquoise and violet, jagged mountains lit by twin suns. The view was breathtaking, yet I could see that her eyes were not on the planet. They were on me, seeking confirmation, searching for the honesty in my words. "You speak as if you understand me," she said finally. "Yet I am an enigma even to my own people. They fear me, revere me, but none have ever truly seen me as I am." "I see you," I said simply. "And I believe that if more did, the galaxy would be better for it. Your beauty is not just in your form, it's in your existence, your choices, the way you carry yourself even when doubt creeps in." For a moment, she was silent, her patterns dimming as if lost in thought. Then, without warning, she extended her hand. "Come closer. I wish to see if your eyes deceive you." I stepped forward cautiously, my pulse quickening. In the alien queen's presence, every movement felt monumental, as if gravity itself acknowledged her power. She raised her face, and I met her gaze. It was intense, almost overwhelming, yet beneath it lay a vulnerability that was breathtaking in itself. "You see truth in my form?" she asked. "I do," I said firmly. "Not just your form, but your being. Everything you are is remarkable." Her patterns pulsed brighter, faster, an expression of heightened emotion in her species. "Remarkable," she repeated, almost in disbelief. "Yes," I confirmed. "Powerful, wise, compassionate, and beautiful. There is nothing terrifying here, only awe-inspiring presence." Slowly, a faint smile touched her lips, a curve so subtle it might have been imagined if not for the way her eyes softened. "A human tells me I am beautiful," she murmured. "After centuries of ruling, of battles, of fear, a simple word from you unmakes all the shadows I've carried." I realized then that the alien queen's insecurity, her self-doubt, was not a weakness but a reflection of her depth. For all her power, she had never allowed herself to be seen in this way. And now, in this moment, she was learning the simple truth: recognition and admiration can heal wounds that armor and authority cannot. The balcony seemed to transform around us. Colors from the nebula outside reflected off her skin, creating a dazzling display of light. "Stay with me," she said suddenly, a command softened by curiosity and trust. "I wish to speak more of what you see, of what you perceive." And so we sat, overlooking a living planet, talking not as ruler and observer, but as two beings sharing understanding. I told her how courage could be expressed without violence, how beauty existed in the essence of a life lived fully, how acknowledgement of another's worth could transform perception. Hours passed, and the alien queen's patterns glowed steadily, a rhythm that mirrored the nebula above. She shared stories of battles won and lost, of civilizations guided and destroyed, of choices made under unimaginable pressure. And through it all, I saw not only the grandeur of her life but the tender humanity hidden beneath centuries of responsibility. "You do not fear me," she said finally, her voice soft. "I could fear you," I admitted. "I could fear your power, your reach, your authority. But I do not. Because I see the being behind it all. And what I see is beauty, not terror." Her patterns shimmered brighter than I had ever seen, cascading across her form like liquid light. "Perhaps," she murmured, "it is not power that defines one's presence, but perception. And the perception of another can illuminate what one never knew existed." As the twin suns set below the horizon, casting long shadows across the alien cityscape, she turned to me fully, her expression open and unguarded. "You have given me something rare, human, a reflection of myself that I had denied. Perhaps I am not as terrifying as I imagined." "No," I said, smiling. "You are awe-inspiring, radiant, the most beautiful in the galaxy. And now you can see it too." She studied me for a long moment, then, in a gesture that startled me with its intimacy, she reached out and gently touched my shoulder. "Thank you," she whispered, "for seeing me, truly seeing me." The galaxy stretched infinitely around us, stars blazing like distant fires. And in that vast expanse, I realized that the alien queen, for all her majesty and fearsome reputation, had learned a lesson even the most powerful leaders sometimes forget: that beauty is not simply a reflection of form or authority, but a reflection of essence, courage, and acknowledgement. I left the throne chamber later, my mission accomplished in ways no report could ever capture. Data and observations mattered, yes, but the truth of the moment, the recognition, the connection, the human words that transformed fear into self-acceptance, was something far beyond any scientific measurement. As I departed the station, I looked back at the alien queen, standing tall against the nebula-lit sky. Her gaze met mine, and for a fleeting instant, I saw her not as a ruler or a warrior, but as a being capable of beauty, fear, courage, and grace all at once. And I knew that the galaxy was richer for the moment we had shared. In the end, the alien queen's lesson was simple yet profound: even the most powerful beings can doubt themselves, but with recognition, compassion, and a little courage from another, the shadows of insecurity can be banished. And sometimes, all it takes is one voice, one honest word, to reveal the most breathtaking truth in the universe: that even a queen, feared by billions, can be the most beautiful in the galaxy.